It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you'll be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
What a gift. That was your Christmas present.
Listen, I'm a poor man. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a poor man myself, a humble man, a frugal man. And the only thing I have to offer is the gift of music.
You're the little drummer boy.
Yeah. So shall I play for you? Me and my drum?
That's what I want to hear.
Hell yeah, brother. We haven't even introduced ourselves.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to another edition of Ringside. My name is John.
I'm Kendra.
Did you say my name?
No.
Oh, I thought you said...
No, I was saying Ringside while you said John because I forgot that we were supposed to say it at the same time.
Oh, it's okay.
Whoops.
I thought you were introducing me for me.
He's John.
And she's Kendra.
Yeah.
Happy holidays, everybody. Whatever you celebrate, I hope you have a joyous that holiday with you and yours, or just you if you celebrate by yourself. That's cool too.
Sometimes that's easier and cheaper.
Ain't that the fucking truth? So we have a little bit of a special holiday edition of Ringside because, as you all know, it's our mantra here during the holidays. The reason for the season is pleasing. So today I'm going to tell y'all right now, we have a little weekly roundup to do first, but we are very much doing, you see it in the title, we're doing our Sexy Santa roundup, okay? So stick around for that.
It sounds, first of all, I did not sign off on our mantra for the holiday season being that.
Listen,
first off the bat, I just want everyone to be aware of that. Take notes, everyone.
We've been living it.
Legally, I did not sign off on that. Second of all, my nose is killing me. I had, for some reason, really bad allergies last night, and my nose is rubbed raw. Rudolph today is me. Third, I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot my third point.
The reason for the season is not treason. So let's maybe steer away from that.
Speaking of, January 6th, Raw is on Netflix, everybody. How exciting. What a glorious day that they could have picked.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's like, unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
It's like, timing. That's one of those days now that I'm like, can we just like remove that from the calendar? Can we go from January 5th to January 7th?
My thing is like, I
just feel weird. If anything's on January 6th, I'm like, ooh.
I feel like what should have happened is the day should have been renamed immediately. Like first order of business. Okay, we're not going to call this just the name of the day. We're going to call it the day of this or something like that.
Right.
Because so many people called it January 6th for so long that now that's all I associate that date with.
Right.
Like 4th of July. You know what I mean? Polar opposite.
And to a lot of people, that is their 4th of July.
Polar opposite vibes. But yeah, really, really unfortunate on that one. But that's not what we're here to talk about today.
You did mention Raw on Netflix on January 6th. That actually makes me think of Saturday night main event. Sorry, I could not say that word. Listen. I don't know about you, Kendra. I enjoyed Saturday Night Main Event.
I did too.
I don't think it was, it's the first one they've done in a long time. And it was, not the perfect, nothing ever is perfect, right? But overall, I really enjoyed the evening highlights. Chelsea Green winning the first ever Women's United States Championship.
She was our front runner for that victory. I'm so glad that she won. She deserves it.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of the people in that tournament deserved it.
Right.
I would have been happy if Michin did get that because, again, they've been like workhorses for years and years, severely underappreciated. But I love Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
So that's like, I think that was the highlight of the night for me.
I completely agree.
Finally winning and then going to Disneyland the next day. That's so us. That's so us.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think her winning was more than appropriate, more than due. I think she put in her fucking work. And I think if nothing else for a lot of people, she solidified it at Money in the Bank when she took that crazy ass fucking ladder bump. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, she's so great all the time. And I'm so happy that she won the championship. I also would have been very happy for Michin. I'm also very impressed with Michin's trajectory. I was at one point worried that she was going to be released again, just because like for a while it felt like they didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah. I
think her NXT run really, really helped. And then by the time she got back to the main roster full time, I mean, but even during that time, she was working both. She was working NXT and the main roster. But now I feel like she's kind of gotten this little slice of the hints of a hardcore like style wrestler, which is you don't see that too often, especially in women's wrestling in WWE. So that's really cool. So I'm sure she'll get her comeuppance in the near future. But for right now, I'm going to enjoy this champion Chelsea reign because I think it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Do you think we'll get any kind of specialized belt? I know it's a brand new belt anyway, but do you think guys, there has been no women's title belt that has even come close to the cuntiness of the Divas Championship belt. And I'm trying, I wasn't here for the Divas era. And I know that it was problematic for a lot of reasons. I want a cunty belt. If I'm going to spend $300, $400 on a belt, it's at least got to be like pink or purple.
Yeah.
Please.
Listen, I think we're in an interesting time right now. I feel like leading up to 2020, and then like I would say up to like about 2022-ish, 2023. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We talked about it especially when like Mandalorian was on, where there's like this big push. And I'm not trying to sound like a bro, and I'm not complaining, but like, you know, there was a time where a lot of like women characters were presented as like super strong and like, you know, stoic.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of like quote unquote like girly pop to it, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like what is it? Like second wave feminism versus third wave feminism of like completely going opposite of every societal expectation of you, which is what gave us like, and again, these characters, this push towards like really strong women was revolutionary and necessary.
Absolutely.
But then we get to a point where we're like, okay, so now what about all of the rest of us, like me, we're very soft people who like pink and glitter, and that doesn't, you know, negate the progress that we wish to see in the world. And I think, like you mentioned, we're kind of getting back to a widening instead of just like going against doing the polar opposite of what's expected. We're getting back to a point where it's like,
it's cool.
Let's just accept everything.
It can coexist now.
Exactly.
Now there's enough of each that it can coexist and make each other better. So Chelsea Green has gone in interviews saying that like she feels she really belonged in the Divas era. She's like Maxine Dupree, you know, people like that. And she's like, I'm not like an MMA fighter. That's not why I became a wrestler. She goes, I loved the messiness. I loved cat fights. Like she was into all that. Now again, I'm not one of those people that's saying, oh, we need to bring back fucking like bras and panties matches. Like that's, you know? Yeah. But in that era and like leading up to that era, you had the Trish Stratus and Litas and the Bella Twins, you know, people who like revolutionized, you know, what it was, right? Yeah. So it's cool that we're coming back to a place where we can see more of those types of characters who, you know, embrace more of their like femininity, right? And again, I'm not saying, you know, teach their own, right? But it's cool that we can see that on a championship scale, right? Yeah. And especially you have like Tiffany Stratton, who's cashing in at any fucking time, you know?
I'm glad to see Tiffany Stratton got that pink briefcase. And like, it's not just, you know, pink because it's girls. No, it's pink because it's Tiffany Stratton. And that makes so much sense for her character. Right. I think, excuse me. I think the key thing for anybody anywhere is listen to the people who are like in it. I feel like so much of the Divas era was the way it was because it was a bunch of probably old men making decisions on behalf of these women. Right. Let the women make decisions for themselves. Absolutely. Chelsea Green's telling you, listen, I would have loved to be in that era. Like the things that they were doing, I loved that. Okay, cool. Ask her how she sees that way forward. Right. Ask the women how they see their path forward. And like you said, maybe we could have the best of both worlds. And responsibly run. Yeah, chilling out, take it slow, then they'll rock out the show. You know? Mix it all together. And what do you got? The best of both worlds. You knew a lot more of that than I was like letting you go because I wanted to see how much you knew. Here's the thing. One,
my mother loved Disney Channel shows when I was younger.
That's true.
But also, you watch those shows too.
I did rewatch Hannah Montana not that long ago. We got to a point in Hannah Montana, like season 3, 4, where it's like,
I don't recognize this. It's not my Hannah.
Yeah, I was like, I religiously watched like the first 2 seasons. So now we're getting into the episodes that I don't know very well. And I'm just kind of like,
nah, fam.
I have no connection to these.
That's fair.
I'm going to go rewatch iCarly, all of iCarly. Because I have a connection to every single episode of iCarly.
What's that song I like? It's an all-night party that we're getting into. Make me where the joke is on you.
Yeah, that's a good one. There are some of those Nickelodeon songs that they like reuse show to show. And it's like, they're so bad, but they're so funny. There's one in Victorious called 5 Fingers to the Face. I think it's just about being slapped. And the problem with Victorious is that a lot of the songs were stupid, sung by or performed by people with like incredible talent that I'm like, 5 Fingers to the Face. I can't. Oh, it's so good.
I know. Before we get caught down a fucking rabbit hole, moving on just a little bit. So we talked about Saturday Night Main Event. What the fuck else were we? Oh, Skeleton Crew. Yeah, over on Disney Plus, we've also been watching Skeleton Crew, the latest Star Wars show. Mm-hmm. Now, I feel like Disney has been a lot more lax with the marketing for this, even though as we continue to learn, a lot of the marketing for this is really funny and really cool. This show, it's like the perfect holiday show. I think it's it's so much fun. Yeah. I am really, really digging it. It is because it is not serious.
It's like we have stakes, but they're contained.
Right.
This has nothing to do. Well, I mean, as much as anything Star Wars can have nothing to do with like the rest of the expanded universe, but like, right. I don't have to know all of these fucking years of movie lore to understand anything that's happening in this show. This is a lot of people were comparing it to Stranger Things, like the first season of Stranger Things in space. It's a little bit more family friendly than that, I would say, but that's like exactly it. It's just like kids having fun in space. Yeah,
it's pirates and adventure and like it's funny, and the characters are every single one is just so charming and quirky in their own way. It's been so much fun to watch. And again, as much as we love The Acolyte, that show, the content of that show is pretty heavy, but also as annoying as they could be, the conversations around the show were also heavy, whether it was about the show itself or people making the show into something it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And that was exhausting. Yeah. And that part has nothing to do with the show. I love the show. I hope they bring it back. I hope they bring those characters back.
It was so good.
But yeah, shout out to Chimera up there.
Oh yeah, he's up there. Look.
But
my boyfriends. Roman Reigns, Chimera,
honestly,
and Din Djarin.
That's pretty
much it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Who you got behind you, bud? The Rock, and Namor. Your boyfriend?
The Rock.
Goddamn.
Rock.
Oh my God, John.
Yikes.
Can I get a close up of that hat, actually? Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Remember how you said you were frugal earlier? Yeah, that hat just kind of arrived one day in the mail.
Hey, it was on sale. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but yeah, I love all the characters, but none more than my boy Neil.
I mean, what is there to say? He's adorable. He's always right, never wrong.
He can't. He cannot be wrong.
He can't be wrong.
The man don't miss.
Even if he's incorrect, he's not wrong.
No, he's so sweet.
He's so sweet, and you know what he looks like? Bustelo Perez. He looks like our cat.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. I know we said that about.
We said about a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Yeah, but I'm really liking it. I love the adventure, specifically the pirate adventure vibes to it. It's not something we've experienced in Star Wars. At least, I mean, definitely not in the live action.
Out, yeah. We got a little bit of pirates in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but not like to this extent. And it's a really good time. I love that. My favorite bit so far is SM33, which as soon as they said that, I was like, oh my God, his name is Smee.
Yeah, you got
That's
that
fucking funny.
That's so good.
But that last episode with can't say I remember no at-in.
Do you guys know how many times I've heard around this house, can't say I remember no at-in?
That's my new vocal stem, you guys. It's so funny.
Yeah. It is really good. Yeah, it's funny that you say it all the time. But yeah, it's been really refreshing again to watch stuff. Like, we watch very few stuff on a like week to week basis. It's mostly wrestling. Do you know how much lore you have to keep in your head for wrestling? I've kind of given up. It's a lot of stuff. Some people are talking about stuff that happened 30 years ago, and I'm like, girl, I wasn't even fucking alive for this. It's so refreshing to have something that you can just like tune into, and it's just fun and it's light, and the kids are really, really good in it. It's like an ensemble kids cast, and Jude Law's there.
And Jude Law, who seems like he's genuinely having a great time.
I think he has like 30 kids or something like that.
That's probably why he gets along with these kids so well.
Yeah, he's like, oh, just like at home.
Right.
Me and my 80 kids.
Yeah,
I don't think he has that many kids.
I mean, working with a bunch of kids, like you can, if someone does not like working with kids, you will see it. Like,
yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's having a good time on the show.
It does seem like it does. It's just fun. So if you've been on the fence for it, I think you should definitely watch an episode or two, I would say, just to try to get into the vibe. But yeah, it's been a really good family watch.
I agree. Speaking of good family watches, and speaking of The Rock.
I don't know if this is a family watch.
Really?
Yeah, they were saying shit and poop in it and whatnot.
They did say asshole once. We're talking about the movie Red One. So it's been out for a little bit now in theaters. It just recently was available to stream on Amazon Prime or Prime Video.
You guys probably heard a thing or two about Red One.
Yeah. So the general consensus from critics, from a lot of critics, was that it was bad. A lot of people were like, it's not even in a way that like, it's so bad it's good. People were just like, it's just bad.
Yeah.
And it came into theaters. I think it was released after Wicked, or was it before Wicked? It might have been just before Wicked.
I can look it up.
Yeah. But it was around that time. So, obviously you can look at the box office. Everyone was spending their money, their freaking coins, to go see Elphaba and her battle cry.
It was released November 15th. And I'm pretty sure...
Isn't that the same weekend? Wasn't that Glicked weekend?
I think Wicked was the next weekend. Oh, man, I typed in Wicked.
No, because I think Moana 2 was Thanksgiving weekend.
Wicked came out November 27th.
Oh, okay, so it was after. Okay.
Yeah, so never doubt me again.
Oh, my bad. So anyway, but yeah, all that to say, it didn't
land well.
It didn't land well at the box office. It didn't land well. I think it landed okay as far as box office go in 2024, because again, there's like fucking 2 movies that everyone saw this year.
Yeah, I can.
You want to give some numbers?
Some freaking stats on it really quick. Okay, Red One's budget was 200 to 250 million.
It's too much for a movie.
And it earned at the box office 176.9 million.
Yeah, so
it earned 176.9 million dollars, which is a lot. But when you factor in that budget, it wasn't enough.
Yeah. So, but interestingly enough, when it was available to stream, because it's an Amazon like movie.
Yeah.
It actually debuted. It was the most watched Prime Video film debut ever, with 50 million viewers after modest theatrical run.
What has there been another Amazon film that went to the theaters first? I'm sure
there has.
I'm just interested in what it was competing for that title.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, either way, those are all just some facts about the movie. Well, we watched it for ourselves to make up our own minds. Now, we've been talking about this movie since they announced it because we're like, what the fuck?
Well, I remember being really excited for it because
Right.
it was The Rock and Chris Evans. I mean, look at him. It was The Rock and Chris Evans in a Christmas movie. We love Christmas.
Right.
We love The Rock. We love Chris Evans.
Right.
So let's hear about it. And then we started hearing about it.
So we didn't go to the movies to see it, but we waited till it was available to watch at home. So we watched it. And even after the reviews and so I'm like, I mean, like our whole thing was like, yeah, people are saying it's not good, but like I was never expecting an Oscar-winning movie out of this. So like I'm trying to keep an open mind. I think you were trying to keep an open mind, but like this movie might not be very good.
Well, here's the thing. I hate reading reviews.
Right.
Especially from critics, because me and critics have nothing in common.
Right.
We're both we're watching movies, and that's pretty much where that ends.
Right.
So I typically don't put any weight into what they say. I more listen to people, like everyday people who happen to have like a following on TikTok, who have a more normal person perspective on things.
Yeah, just more authenticity.
Yeah. I can relate more to them. I listen to their opinions more. But still, I don't even like watching trailers anymore because I feel like it's
Right.
going to sway my opinion before I get to see it. So what I was worried about, I heard the critics were like, boo, boo, boo. And I was like, whatever. They boo, boo, boo everything. But then I started hearing people who I typically like, we align in our opinions on stuff. I heard them starting to be like, yeah, and I was like, oh no.
Right. You're like, oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, but then we watched it.
Because we were always gonna watch it.
Right.
It was just, again, movies nowadays, for us to go to our closest nice movie theater, we have to drive like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
One way, so an hour both ways. We have to pay $5 for parking. We have to pay $15 a piece for tickets.
Right.
That's an expensive trip. We made it for Wicked because it's Wicked.
Right.
We can't do that every other weekend.
Right. So as much as I wanted to go see, let's say I wanted to see Red One or Moana, yeah, or Gladiator 2, like I'm like, I gotta fucking watch how much I'm spending during the holidays.
Yeah.
It's the season of gift giving. Can't afford the gifts. So we were always gonna watch it. And again, I was still going into it like, I'm going to get the movie I'm going to get. I'm expecting it to be at least kind of funny. And I'm expecting, there to be some cool action. And it's Christmas. So, for the vibes, right? I was expecting to enjoy it at least a little bit. But then something weird happened.
Something crazy happened.
Not only did I enjoy it, I would say I kind of liked the movie.
Yeah. It was like, I think we had watched a little bit of it, maybe like 10 minutes of it. And then I needed to take a break to like put the food away or something for dinner. And I remember during the break, I was like, it's not bad so far.
Yeah. It had a cool little setup with for one of our characters.
Yeah.
For Chris Evans' character specifically, it had just like a cool little like heisty kind of setup for him. I was like,
it's like, hang on.
That was kind of entertaining. That was cool.
And yeah, it was just, it could have been a number of things. It's kind of hard to listen to John B. Perhaps it's kind of hard to believe that someone wearing a rock sweater and a rock hat with rock in the background, two different rocks in the background. It's hard to imagine him being impartial about this film.
Right.
And he said multiple times, like, listen, if it's about The Rock, I cannot be impartial. I get that. I'm telling you, as a pessimist, I was going into it with like, it might be fun.
Right.
It might not be good, but it might be fun. I watch bad Christmas movies all the time anyway, like those Netflix rom-coms. That's where I live during Christmas time. It was way better than my expectations. I thought it was funny. I thought they were doing some interesting stuff with like the world building. Mm-hmm. It was a lot to take on, building this world, way more than I thought it was going to be. My biggest thing was that you could feel the runtime a little bit because it's like over 2 hours long, which is kind of crazy. But there were a couple parts where I laughed. Yeah. I didn't think it was like a bad story. it's a Christmas movie. It's like a fun Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's a Christmas action comedy, and again, it just goes back to like you set the expectations you set, right? And I'm
Right.
like, if I'm not expecting from this movie what I might be expecting from what's that movie he's doing, the Smashing Machine, that A24 biopic he's doing.
Oh yeah.
That I'm okay. You're working with Benny Safdie, and you're doing an A24 movie. It's a dramatic like role. Okay, maybe we can expect more out of that and criticize appropriately for that. For something like this or Jumanji, like I don't know. You set your expectations how you see appropriate, but I would expect something that's like just entertaining, a fun popcorn movie.
But I also think my experience and my critique of the movie would have been different if we had
Gone to the movies to see
gone to the
it.
movie
Absolutely.
theaters and like had to drive to it and all those expenses I listed. We sat on our couch and watched it for free.
Yeah.
Free. So
A number of variables, yeah.
yeah, and would I have enjoyed it if there were like kids around me talking or people on their phone or the freaking Apple Watch glare that no one
Turn on theater mode, guys.
put it on theater mode. Yeah, maybe I would have hated it
Right.
if that were the case. So there's also like a lot
That's
of
fair.
those factors. So my general consensus is like it was a good streamer. For like a streaming movie, super good.
Yeah.
The effects were great. Like all of that was great.
I agree.
For like a blockbuster, this is going to be the next like Christmas classic. No, I don't know. Again, yeah, like you said, the expectations you set are the expectations you set.
Yeah.
And my expectations were low.
Yeah, I think that's to your point. I also think that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did, was because I was expecting just like it to be kind of hard to sit through, just because like it's easy to worry about, you have Chris Evans, who's like an actor.
Yeah.
And then you have The Rock, who's an actor in the sense that The Rock does the movies that The Rock does.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I mean, clearly
That's fine. It's working for him.
That's fine.
I had to add a Santa to our list.
So
really
it was one of those like, I understand if they don't work well together on screen, it's going to be real hard to sit through like 2 hours of them just attempting a buddy cop movie, right? But no, I was also pleasantly surprised. I thought the effects for the most part, I couldn't really find anything that I had too many gripes with. There's a bit, this isn't really a spoiler to the story. There is a bit where I won't give context, but where some of the characters can shrink on command. That was kind of jarring the first time I saw it, but it was
like,
funny.
It was one of those like, why haven't you been doing that the whole time?
Right.
kind of things.
But yeah, there's a lot of lore going into it. Almost like they figure, yes, this could be a Christmas thing, but it could also be an other holidays type of thing.
I could 100% see them doing like a Halloween version. Because again, we're setting up this. I don't think this is a spoiler to talk about the world.
Yeah. No, it's not.
I came in thinking like Santa's real. Woo!
Right.
And like some polar bear can stand up and talk or whatever. It's like a whole, like all of these like folk tale magical creatures you've been taught as you were a kid. They're all real, and there's one agency that like oversees them. They're real, but they're also hidden from humans.
Right.
So it's like that. Wow, that's a lot. That's ambitious and a lot to keep track of. Partially explains that over 2 hour runtime for this movie.
Yeah.
But because they have that world built now, whether you think that was built well or not well,
Right.
the opportunities for like characters in future movies is literally endless. It's any like folk story, kaiju, what do they call them?
Right.
Mystical creatures. Bigfoot could have his own little thing.
That's true. And I know some people were complaining, or not complaining, but some people felt like maybe the reason of the season in this movie, like the meaning of the Christmas message, right, of the story. Some people were like, it felt kind of forced, and I could see that. I don't know. This is just the me thing. I'm a sucker for a father-son story. Shout outs to my traumas. No, I'm a sucker for those kind of stories. So I did like it. It also, I will say, it wasn't. I could see why someone would definitely say, oh, yeah, they just kind of threw that in there just to kind of wrap everything up. Fair, because I don't feel like they harped on it too long. Like I thought the way of like seeing the kid and everyone, I thought that was kind of neat.
That was a cool.
So I did like that. I think that part of it hit. Maybe the father-son stuff didn't. Maybe that was just kind of all baked in at the end there, just to like wrap up that storyline. But overall, I think it's rushed and not too rushed to the point where it's like that was completely meaningless, because they had the son in there and doing some stuff before that moment. He was involved for a little bit, right? But I think overall it wasn't enough. It wasn't rushed enough for me to just be like, oh, it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
But they don't harp on it too long to be like, oh, they tried to make the movie about this and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I could also see why people would say that. Anyway, I really enjoy the movie. I think if you're looking for, again, just something fun to watch, it's definitely entertaining. It is genuinely funny at several moments of the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just a fun little watch to do at home.
Yeah. The Rock is definitely playing The Rock. You know what I mean? Like how he does. Chris Evans, though, is having a lot of fun with it. I love that he gets to be brunette and have his accent.
And a beard.
And the beard. That's nice for me. And if he was Santa Claus, he'd rank pretty highly on our next list.
Speaking of, before we get into our sexy Santa list, we got to talk about the original Santa Claus. Of course, I'm talking about Superman.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Okay.
We got a teaser of James Gunn Superman that's going to be taking flight in 2025.
Now hang on, guys.
What are your thoughts, Kendra?
Listen, I'm not a big DC guy. I do have a big yet. No.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I have watched like the Snyderverse.
That's your like
movies.
exposure.
So we're starting from a place, low or high, that's up to you and your opinions. We are starting from a place. I like don't know a whole lot. I know like, it's this alien, rocks hurt him, cute dog, lands in like what, Kentucky, Americana,
Kansas.
That I knew it was a K. Anyway, other than that, like I don't have a strong opinion on Superman. Don't have any like, I have nothing against him, but I don't have any
emotional
knowledge.
Yeah.
I will say it's kind of like a lot of people talk about Peter Parker. A lot of people say like Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker because he looks like a little nerd.
Right.
Andrew Garfield's not a good Peter Parker because he's too hot. Like, listen. Are they wrong? He was great, but he is hot. A lot of people are saying like, okay, I believe that this like bumbling nerd could fool people into thinking.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana. Miley Stewart.
Hannah Montana.
Clark
yeah.
Kent. Hannah Montana Superman.
Yeah.
Anyway, just my thoughts on the teaser with now this backstory that my knowledge base of Superman, which is not a lot. I'm really excited for it. I know you're really excited for it. You were pointing out stuff that I didn't know, like the music. The music is like old.
It's
Superman.
like the iconic score, yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea. But I think that choice was like purposeful. We're ushering in this new era of not just Superman, but this whole cinematic universe. This is it. And with that, returning to like what worked back in the day. I have no idea. I've never seen the guy who plays Superman in anything else. I have no idea what his vibe is. But I visually, like I said, can see him as Clark Kent. Well, like that makes sense to me.
Henry Cavill as Clark Kent.
That made no sense.
Fam, you're not fooling anyone.
That made no. And I don't know. There's just something about like, because obviously these men are both very attractive.
Right.
There's something about Henry Cavill that's like so jarring. That's like, you don't blend in.
Right.
This little guy, because he's wearing the big clothes.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. He looks scrawny. This twink, he blends in. And I think that's what works so well for him as Clark Kent.
Yeah, Henry Cavill, he's just such a tall and like fucking beefy dude.
He's like not intimidating, imposing.
Yeah.
He's a very imposing person. So it's like, you know who else is imposing? Superman.
Like I
That's
couldn't work with him because, or you know what, that's why. Here's what I mean.
Okay.
I couldn't work in the same building because
Right.
I would be like, yeah, fucking Superman over here. Look at him.
Me and this guy can't stand next to each other.
Right.
Me and this guy can't. We can't
hey.
be in the same room together.
You talking about me?
No, me.
Oh.
Anyone. Two people can't stand next to him. Other thoughts. You actually pointed this out. I didn't notice at first, but it's very bright.
Mm-hmm.
And again, coming from the fucking Snyder stuff, all seemed very dark. And a lot of the DC stuff just kind of seems dark.
Yeah.
Like visually dark.
And it's sorry,
okay.
I have to interject. It's because they let Zack Snyder have so much
influence
on, because they were again just trying to rush to do what Marvel was doing. So they're like, okay, well, if Joss Whedon after Phase 1 is kind of piecing together all the puzzles and making everything kind of overseeing and making things flow, that was kind of the original intent.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, Zack Snyder's going to do the same thing for us. And that's why, you know, you have characters like fucking Wonder Woman and Superman who are doing the Batman thing, right? And it not only does it not make sense, it just, everything looks the same now. Yeah. And I like Wonder Woman. Don't get me wrong. I like that movie. But you can definitely see that, like, it's Snyder like influence on that.
Yeah.
And then it's not until you have movies like Shazam or Blue Beetle where we finally break away from that.
Yeah.
At least momentarily, right? But
those movies we both really liked.
Exactly. So anyway, yes, that Snyder influence was something that I'm not a Zack Snyder guy, and I like several of his movies. Don't get me wrong. I was telling you I love Man of Steel. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I think for me, I was telling you the story. One of the first Halloween costumes I ever remember wearing.
Yeah.
I was dressed up as Superman. As a kid, I fucking loved specifically the 90s like Superman cartoon. That was like on the same time as I think it's called The Adventures of Superman. It's on the same time as Batman the Animated Series. Maybe that wasn't the name of it, but anyway, I digress. I used to love that show when I was a kid. So that was the first Halloween costume I remember. But yeah, it's like I feel like Hollywood has really scared themselves out of doing a Superman movie because they had Superman Returns, which some people really love. Some people really don't. It's kind of another polarizing one. And then you have Man of Steel. But Superman Returns at least tried to capture the feeling of the original, like not Kevin Spacey. He wasn't Superman Returns, but the original Richard Donner movie with Christopher Reeves as Superman. It tried, because I think it was technically a continuation of that story. I think. I haven't seen the movie in years. And then Man of Steel was kind of this new brooding take on Superman, which again, like,
we have that already.
It's not even that. It's just that it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. And I love Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. I really, really do. But I just feel like you have now lost what makes Superman Superman. You know, people joke and, you know, oh, he's the Boy Scout. You know, he's like the guy who's always, you know.
Is Superman like their Captain America?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but now we've essentially tried to make him like Batman.
Right.
You know, and that just doesn't
this is where I need a help.
Right.
Because, like, I don't have any of this knowledge base.
So watching this trailer, it's funny. I watched this teaser twice, and both times at the same exact point, I got super emotional.
Yeah.
I got super emotional watching it. I'm tearing up right now thinking about it, actually. And it's just because like this, and this is only a teaser, a 2 minute of nothing happen. I mean, they show us a lot, but we don't know a lot what's happening.
Yeah.
Of just like these bright colors, arguably goofy things happening, like the super dog, Crypto the super dog. But yeah, just watching it and like seeing him save the little girl, or seeing the little kid like pray and call for Superman. Like, man, this is a guy that people like really rely on. And it's like, and it made me think of a line in Spider-Man, the original, like Tobey Maguire, where Aunt May was like, you know, saved by a hero who taught us all to hold on just a second longer. I'm like, oh my God, that is hope. Like that's what's been missing.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I don't want to talk about too much about like the many awful things that are happening in the world today, and in our country specifically today. But I just feel like this movie is, or a message like this, a message of hope, is so like important right now that I think a lot of people don't think about. We're obsessed with like, you know, how evil rises into power because, and we've seen that with The Boys, right? We've seen an evil Superman. I don't want to see it again. I love that take. Don't get me wrong. I love that show.
I mean, yeah, it's like you kind of have to go for full circle. We started with like you said, hopeful,
right,
Boy Scout, and then we were like, what if he was a little bit grittier? What if he was evil? And now we're circling back to like, let's take things back to the beginning.
Because like Superman as a character is just so powerful that should be the reason people are scared of him. But he does everything in his power to make people not. He's literally in comic books like doing the fireman thing and like saving cats out of trees. Like,
yeah,
he's like,
guys, don't worry.
Yeah, right. Just because he can, you know, and because it's the right thing to do. Anyway, so I really, really love this teaser. Yeah. And there's other people who are going to break down every little thing that happened in it.
If you guys want to watch a 30-minute breakdown of this 2-minute trailer, go to New Rock Stars.
Yeah. No, don't shout them out. They ain't paying us. You can go watch it on YouTube.
I watch all the time.
Anyway.
Another thing I'll say, because you guys know, and you know, I hate trailer culture.
Yeah.
I hate teasers. Okay, here it is. I don't hate teasers because teasers are trailers. Teasers are what trailers used to be, and trailers are the first 10 minutes
from the movie.
Of the movie. This felt like an actual teaser. I know a lot of people are like, they showed us everything. I know the whole movie now. First of all, again, for someone who does not have the context that you have, which is a lot of people, I don't know shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I saw a bunch of people. I saw some bitch flying. Saw someone with a horrific bowl cut. And like, I don't know what's going on. But I think this trailer did a really good job. Again, there's like one line of dialogue.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of people, places, and things, nouns, but we didn't get a lot of context for all of that stuff, which is beautiful.
It's a great place to be.
That's what a teaser's supposed to be. Show me no context.
And guess what? It sounds like we're hyped for the fucking movie. If for nothing else, it's for the best boy in the universe. Crypto's an unfortunate name nowadays. Because he's from Krypton.
Yeah.
But also, did y'all see how adorable they made that little dog look?
He was really cute.
He's like, my fucking buddy's all beat to shit, but I'm so happy to see him.
Crypto showed up and said, damn, what the fuck?
The fuck happened to you?
I guess let me drag your ass, your 300,000 pound body with my dog teeth, I guess.
Hey, listen,
I don't know a lot about that.
He did that.
So he's an alien dog?
Yeah, he's from...
Why do these aliens look so much like you and I and our dogs?
Listen, I don't know.
Maybe that'll be answered in the film.
But if anyone, I really think James Gunn is like the perfect guy to do this movie. Like,
I trust James Gunn
with my life.
Truly, like, that's the bit. Like, this trailer could have come out and looked ass. I could have hated it. I could have been like, and I still would have seen it because it's James Gunn. That's exactly what DC and the new DC, whatever they're calling it, universe. That's exactly what they needed. That kind of trust, because we lost it along the way. So I am, for nothing else, I, again, don't know the lore, not a huge Superman guy. I'm most excited to see James Gunn.
Right. Have some James fun.
And
that, you know what? That's it. We did it.
And that's truly the reason for the season. When is this coming out?
July 22nd, I think.
Okay.
It's in July. So we got a few months.
So we have like half a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this teaser was just such a beautiful teaser. I really, really loved it. It got me really excited. Yeah. Would love to hear what y'all think.
Yeah.
All right. This is it, guys. We're here at long last.
Okay, I have a whole thing set up. Let me transition the screens for you guys. It was a short transition.
Yeah. So. I was going to try and do a little jingle for it, but
go ahead.
Oh, fuck.
Musical improv. You did it today. Go ahead.
You better watch out. You better not cry. He'll look at you and he's gonna say, hi. Santa Claus is here for you now. This is like a horror movie. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. He's going to kill me. Let's call him Sexy Claus.
Sexy Claus. Daddy Claus?
Is he... Yeah, I mean, you can be the judge later on when we go through
Daddy Christmas?
Not Father Christmas. It's Daddy Christmas now.
Zaddy?
So this was actually... I know that this seems like something that I would cook up in my demented, fucked brain. This was not me. This was Johnny P, a Johnny P original. He said, "Hey, what if we
ranked all the sexy Santas out there?"
And I said,
"Now,
let's do it."
This is our comprehensive list. If there's a sexy Santa we left out,
we did leave one out.
Oh.
First of all, let's just say this list is not comprehensive. This is a living document as more sexy Santas come up year after year. Perhaps we'll revisit this in another day. I used partially an article from The Cut. They listed their sexy Santas. Mm-hmm. Their list was criminal. Whoever wrote that needs to be put on some sort of watch list. Because and listen, some of the stuff I'm going to say about these men later on, it's
not great.
It's not great. But I purposefully didn't include the claymation Santas. But someone at The Cut did. The claymation Santas.
Yeah, that's weird.
And guess what? They weren't last. What the fuck?
That's fucked. So I like that. It's a living document. We'll revisit this next year because, again, that's been the trend these last few years is that the Santas, guys, they just keep getting hotter. They just keep getting sexier.
What are they putting in the water at the North Pole that the Santas keep getting hotter?
Listen, if that's not the proof of climate change, I don't know what is.
Good Lord. The ice caps are melting and there are some minerals leaking into the North Pole water
exactly
tank. And it's making everybody so hot and sexy.
Yeah.
Because we didn't include in here, but again, feminism, let's not. The Mrs. Clauses are also getting sexier.
Yeah.
We didn't do that list. I don't know why. Maybe next year, but
I don't know. I don't know if that would go well for me.
Yeah.
On the internet.
On the old internet, but this is fine.
Objectifying men? Let's do it.
That's okie dokie. But also some of these men are objectifying themselves, as we'll see soon.
Yeah.
So again, disagree with us in the comments if you want, agree with us, whatever. We have a tiered list. Holy shit, he's guzzling that water.
Sorry, I'm getting thirsty looking at all these Santas.
Let's go with one that we've already talked about today.
All right.
We have. I didn't put. Okay.
Are we making this list together, or are we doing two separate lists? I think we're making them together, right?
Make it together because I only have the one.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'll take your opinions into consideration before I ultimately place them where I believe they should be.
All right.
So we actually have one person on this list twice.
Oh, we do.
Which is quite the feat. Congratulations, Mr. J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Let's talk about J.K. Simmons in Red One. We just talked about it.
Red One himself, Saint Nick.
He is Saint Nick. So don't worry, I'll make these bigger for you guys. I mean, okay. So this one actually, John, you brought this up.
Yeah.
I believe this maybe what started it all.
This was part of the inspiration. I did see a picture of the movie hasn't come out yet, so we can't rank him appropriately. But I did see a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Santa in an upcoming movie, I think coming out next year.
Okay.
And that kind of kickstarted the idea because I was like, oh, we're going to watch Red One. Oh, I remember J.K. Simmons was like weirdly jacked for this movie for the fucking 15 minutes that he's in this movie.
Do you think that he used this opportunity to be like, hey, Mr. at The Rock, can you help me get buff?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, because like Santa being jacked had nothing to do with anything. He was just like in the gym one day.
But see, that's part of the charm of the movie, I think, is that you have this giant fucking elf basically, who, of course, they work out together.
It's like if The Rock is in it, there has to be some gym scene,
right?
Because like it's The Rock. Anyway, so we got this sleeveless J.K. Simmons here, and listen, to someone's Meemaw, this is a tall drink of water. For you and I,
he for an older gentleman,
it's impressive.
He's
I will say
that beard is distinguished.
It's a distinguished beard. His arms are impressive. Is he sexy? I would say, girl, get the hell. What the hell is this? Did you click that?
Do I do what?
No.
I haven't clicked anything.
Okay. Sorry. There's ignore that.
Okay.
I would say that he's. You know what's sexiest? He's taking care of himself.
Yeah.
And I think we're not going there. You guys thought this was going to be vain and objectifying. No, we're also taking into consideration other things.
He takes care of himself. He looks out for his people.
Yes.
He does flips through to get into houses and shit.
Unnecessarily.
He
takes
does it
up
'cause he
more
can.
time, actually. But does that factor into the sexiness? I say the fact that he's like, I'm going to take time out of my day to work on my body and my spirit and my mind with The Rock. I think maybe that bumps him up a little bit from mid to slightly less mid.
I was gonna say I'm thinking B tier.
I'm thinking B tier
Because I get it. I guess for some people the age thing might be a thing.
That's unfortunately something we're gonna have to confront multiple times in this list.
It is Santa Claus.
He's old.
Famously.
Famously.
But with that said,
you could do worse.
You could do worse. I don't think he's a bad looking guy.
I don't think he's.
I mean, he's J. Jonah Jameson, so there's that. But like,
that is in the back of my head. Every time I hear him talk, I'm like, damn.
He's like, you know what I want for Christmas? More pictures of Spider-Man. That's pretty good.
It was bad.
All right, B tier. Okay, I'm glad we're starting off on the same page.
We're starting off strong. Okay. So I made a blunder, an error. I did add Tim Allen as Santa from the Santa Claus. I did not add the plastic Santa, Tim Allen from Santa Claus 2, I believe.
I feel like they would rank differently anyway.
I feel like they would rank differently and not in the way that maybe you're thinking.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
No, that ultra smooth Santa, like genuinely as a kid did frighten me.
Just fucking pounding and shotgunning hot chocolate and shit.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I love the Santa Claus.
Oh, I love the Santa Claus too. The Santa Claus is
seen the second one as much. Well, I haven't seen the third one like at all.
The first one that's a strange film.
Hey, come on.
I mean, it's not bad.
You know what someone pointed out on TikTok recently that did kind of freak me out? The elves
planned the whole thing.
They're in the movie from the beginning, like following this man and his son, not knowing that he was going to be the one to scare Santa, not knowing. That's fucked. That's creepy.
That is creepy.
Those little kids are kind of creepy.
But we're not talking about.
We're not even talking about them. We're talking about Tim Allen Santa Claus, and this is gonna be a rough one for him because I don't think he's gonna rank very high. Because you know what, Tim Allen's character Scott Calvin, ass,
kind of a piece of shit.
So that's not gonna help him. The other thing that will help some other Santas along the way in this list, hair. Look at that. Not helping. Not helping. Sorry. And again, maybe it's a time thing and, this was like the 90s or whatever, but.
I will say they made him look a lot like what you would expect a Santa Claus to look like, which I do appreciate.
He is very Santa-esque. He's not losing the plot of Santa. Right. He's got the jolly belly.
Mm-hmm.
I love a jolly belly.
Mm-hmm. Loves hot chocolate.
But you know what I was looking at this whole film when I was a child? Bernard. I had such a huge crush on Bernard.
Now, if we were ranking Bernard.
Now, listen, if we were ranking Jewish elves, he'd be up on the top. I'll tell you that much.
That's a short list. There's not a lot of them.
It might just be him. But I loved him as a kid with his little culturally appropriative locks.
Hey, listen.
I ate them up. What does that say about me? There are actually a couple people on this list.
You
that
got
you're
an
gonna find out
affinity
some stuff about me.
for short kings with curly hair. And look who's reaping the benefits.
Yeah, truly. He walked so you could fly. As far as Scott Calvin's Santa Claus, I'm thinking E.
I was also thinking E.
Ooh, sorry.
I was also thinking E.
Maybe if you were a better person.
Here's the thing, is that Scott Calvin, kind of a piece of shit in the movie.
And
Tim Allen,
a piece of shit in real life. You simply can't win. And maybe at the end of the movie, he was a little bit better, but like still not.
and then he had Anyway, let's say E.
E. Okay. Next up, Little Rel Howery.
Lil Rel. I know Lil Rel.
Oh, that's not him. Hold on. As Nick in Dashing Through the Snow 2023. I've not seen this film.
I've not seen this film either. I do feel like I would like it because it's Ludacris, right? Ludacris is in this movie.
Is that what this one is?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So I do think I would enjoy it.
Just haven't gotten around to it.
Just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Now, okay, this Santa's got a lot going for him. I will say that. The gloves, I like them. Don't know why.
Listen,
The whole fit, the drip,
drip king.
it's here. That gold vest.
Who the fuck else? What other Santa's rocking gold other than their belt buckle? Like,
It's not predominant. It's an accent. This is showcasing it, and I
Right.
appreciate that.
yeah.
The beard. What the fuck? What are we doing with that?
Yeah,
At first, I thought from the picture when it was small, I was like, "Oh, he's got like a little tight beard."
I didn't realize that's what that was.
And then I looked. How the hell is he? Does he dye it? He must dye it.
Yeah.
Because if his new growth is coming out black and the
That's
rest
unfortunate.
is white, that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah.
Inverse.
No, we
If it
could have
was
been
like-
cooking with gas,
If
guys.
it was growing out gray, a little bit, kind of like Roman Reigns is.
You know, it's too much. It's too gray too quick. I think if it was like a salt and pepper thing.
Yeah, there's like a clear delineation, line
Right.
of demarcation. Is that what it's called?
We need more of a gradient.
I need more of a gradient. Maybe they do have that salt and pepper.
Gradient.
They do have that salt and pepper just for men for
Yeah.
your beard. Maybe he could try that out. And maybe it would influence his rank on this list.
Yeah.
As it stands now though, I will say he's got great teeth. He's got great skin. He's got like a little bit of a belly. It's not so much of a jolly belly. But he's got like the apples of his cheeks are all highlighted. It's giving Santa,
Yeah.
but not a crepey old man. And I do appreciate that.
Yeah. So where is he ranking? Again, I do think the fashion
The fashion, I think, puts him
really
over.
yeah.
It's good. And again, the gloves, I don't know what it is about it. The gloves tell me, like, these hands, they're not just for show.
Oh.
I'm using these hands to pick up presents, do the reins,
Yeah.
a workman.
Yeah.
That's kind of hot.
Yeah.
I think I would put him
I'm thinking
B.
I was gonna say maybe it's just me. I was thinking A or B.
Oh.
I was thinking A or B. He's a younger
He is
guy. He's a
younger,
good looking guy.
that's-
Again, the beard is a little unfortunate. So I can see us losing points for that.
The beard is bad.
But as far and Lil Rel, just I haven't seen this movie, but he's funny. He's a comedian, so
helps.
he's probably a funny Santa.
That's a good point. Okay, we'll give him A.
Hey,
give him A.
Lil Rel, I got you.
I have no idea if he's like, is he an asshole in this film? No clue.
Probably.
What if he's like
you
a
see
bad
that smile?
Santa?
Come on. If you look at that picture versus that picture of a fucking Tim Allen, which one do you think looks more like an asshole?
Yeah.
All right.
But looks can be deceiving.
That's true.
We don't know.
That's true.
Okay. We've got a nice spread, guys.
We're doing well so far.
Let's talk about another newcomer. We haven't seen this film yet. It is on my list to watch this year. It's Jack Black as Satan
Yeah. So,
from Dear Santa.
now we haven't seen this film, but the premise, for those who don't know, a little boy writes to Santa, misspells Santa, and puts Satan.
Yes.
So Jack Black is playing Satan
Yes.
as Santa.
Yeah.
It's a little odd.
We don't know if even technically he should be on this list, but I'm going to put him on.
He's rocking the Santa look, so we're gonna give him this one this time.
And there's a lot of things working for Jack Black for me personally. One, the fact that he's secretly Satan, I do like that. I would read that book, that rom-com. I would read that. Two, famous Kendra lore, huge Jack Black crush when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Which makes so much sense.
Who's reaping the benefits? Old Johnny P.
Does Jack Black as Santa count as another Jewish elf?
No, he's not an elf.
Santa's the biggest elf. He's the leader of the elves.
He's not an elf. Santa's not a fucking elf.
He might be an elf. What is he, human?
I mean,
He's
according
4
to
billion years old.
yeah, he's magic now, but he's not an elf.
We'll circle back on that later. I
think that would come up if he was an elf.
I'm too tired to have that argument with you right now. I think
It's no argument. Continue.
Anyway, the hair in this I'm just going off this picture again because we haven't seen it. The salt and pepper of the beard is nice. We got a mix. We got a little darkness up towards the mouth region.
Definitely some darker gray in there, and I like that.
But yeah, it's dimensional. Same with the hair, and he's got curls. I love curls. The eyebrows, woof. Those are throwing it off for me.
But he is given the people's eyebrow.
He's given the people's eyebrow. He does have the very blushed cheeks and nose. I do that to myself as well. So I can't truly hate from this side of the club when I can't even get in.
Yeah.
I'll never be Santa Claus. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the Santa and his sexiness?
So the picture we have here, it's only unfortunate in the sense that we don't see the full getup, right?
Yeah.
We're just going off his face.
Yeah.
But as far as that goes, I mean, yeah, he's got the jolly cheeks. He's got great hair. He's got a really great beard. He's even in his personal life, he's got a great beard.
Yeah.
And just this, granted, this Santa is not Santa. He's Satan.
But again, I think
but it looks like with that little mischievous, he gets into a good time. He gets into some trouble. He gets into a good time. So yeah, I think I'm right up there with you.
Yeah. I think it might be an A.
I was thinking only because we haven't seen any more. I'm just looking at his face, but going off of that, I think and based off of Jack Black and just the kind of shenanigans he gets into.
This is a funny Santa for sure.
Yeah.
Funny, musically talented Santa.
Yeah. Come on, a Santa who's like gonna shred a fucking guitar and just slay with vocals.
Yeah.
Slay.
And is also, I can't stress this enough, Satan himself.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Badass. I support A.
My grandma would not support me putting him this high up. A it is for Satan. Satan gets an A from me.
Well, hey, let's not get too crazy.
Jack Black Satan. Okay, so next we're gonna do a surprise Giamatti. I didn't know. Paul,
oh God!
I didn't know Paul Giamatti had played Santa in anything, but apparently Paul Giamatti was Nick/Santa Claus in Fred Claus 2007.
I've not seen.
I've never seen. There's also, is that Kevin Spacey?
Ooh. Good. Better.
Anyway, this guys, I don't know what the fuck is going on in Fred Claus. This man's sick.
From what I have not seen the film. I only remember the trailers. From what I understand, Fred really stressing Santa out a lot.
I can tell. Woof.
But here's the thing. I love Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti is also funny.
Here's the thing. He is a thespian, right?
Right.
He can show all just a beautiful tapestry of emotion, right? He can be hilarious, but he can also bring the fire, right, when he needs to, the seriousness. But this Santa, that's a man who is deeply unhappy right now.
Crumbling.
Just under the weight of not wanting to fire his fuck ass brother.
And I'm so sorry to Paul Giamatti. There's nothing redeemable about this Santa. His hair, whack. His beard, whack. His clothes, whack and boring. That's like the most Santa costume I've ever seen. It's not giving me anything.
It almost feels like, and again, let us stress, this is nothing to do with Paul Giamatti, whom we love. Okay?
I would hope
whom I love.
He's fine.
But this is purely on the Santa aesthetic, as far as sexy Santas go. They did my man's dirty.
They did.
They did not help him out.
They didn't.
I think if we approached him with
some clippers,
with a look, he could have been a Daddy Claus.
But we didn't. So he's going in F. He's going in F, and I'm so sorry.
I can't argue.
I feel like he's struggling, but he's gonna have to struggle some more. And through the struggle,
F for Fred Claus.
What? Oh, yes, the name of the film. Yes, F. I was like, he's Santa.
Fred is still ruining his fucking life.
Yeah, it's still all these years later, almost 20. Uh-oh. Next, let's talk about Danny Glover as Santa Claus in The Naughty Nine.
I've never seen this one either.
I haven't seen this one. Now listen.
Now, hang on a second. That's this Santa looks disappointed in me.
I was gonna say again. I know that it might come off as a pattern that a lot of older black men remind me of my dad. That's something I need to unpack in my own life. This looks like my dad's mad at me. He kind of.
This also kind of looks like your dad.
Like a little bit.
He kind of looks like if your dad could grow a beard.
Eyes when my dad's tired and disappointed. That's what he looks like.
This Santa has taken a look at that naughty list and just sat down, like, cracked a beer, and said, "I'm getting too old for this shit."
Okay. I will say,
like from the movies.
Yes. I will say, his skin looks great.
Flawless
Skin.
The beard
is probably one of the best beards we've seen.
The mustache with the handle, like the handlebar mustache.
And it's like a nice poofy beard, like a brushed out manicured beard.
Listen, yes, he looks very serious in this picture.
Yeah.
He's a great looking Santa Claus. I will give him that.
It's not bad. The cable knit sweater, it's giving a little something to this otherwise boring outfit.
I don't know. I like the outfit. I think
it's kind of like again, where Paul Giamatti's Santa Claus was like cartoon costume. This looks like Santa at home.
Like working in his study.
He's working in his study. He got a little bit cold. He put his classic Santa jacket over his cable knit sweater.
And yeah, I think that with the sweater, that's drip. That's drip, and I can't argue against that.
Yeah. Do you know what this also kind of gives me a little bit? Maybe it's also taking in the furnishings. We've got these big tiled stones behind us up the wall. Like, it's well furnished. We've got this nice desk with stuff on it. Cable knit sweater, leather chair. It's giving rich Santa.
I'm gonna say it. I'm thinking at least minimum a B. I'm going B. I could see a C.
I was gonna say C.
I could see a C.
Only because again, he's looking a little bit like my dad, and I don't think I can put that very high.
That's fair.
There's only
just know
so high I can put
Mr. Glover. I would put you higher, but I can understand the C.
I'm going C. He also
C for Carter.
He looks mad at me.
C for kind of disappointed.
That was pretty good. Okay.
We're about halfway through our list, I think.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the list, and we have a good spread.
Yeah.
I think we're doing this.
I don't think we're being too unfair.
I think I'm unintentionally saving the hottest Santas for last, though.
So let's pull out a hot one.
Let's pull out a hot one. Okay, so this is our second J.K. Simmons entrant of the day. This is Klaus from Klaus 2019 on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, oh my God.
A film we've watched once.
And we'll only watch once. So good.
It's like I want to watch it again.
So beautiful. I'm never watching it again.
Oh, that movie, I was thinking about this the other day after we watched Red One, because I was thinking about this particular Santa Claus. And I think this was the movie that we watched it, and as soon as it was over, I was already crying. Yeah. But as soon as it was over, I was like, I walked into the other room and I told Kendra, I need a minute.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're crying right now.
I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Because I do that a lot. But also, like, this movie was so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Just the animation, the story, the visual, like it was
ending.
It was so good.
Yeah, and I can never watch it again.
Fucking heart-wrenching because of it.
But it was really good, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
It's definitely one you should at least watch once.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the Santa?
Let's unpack this.
First of all, let's talk about the fact he's 8 feet fucking tall.
This is a mountain.
This is a brick shit house Santa.
This and when we see him in the movie, he's like chopping down trees and shit. He's building fucking toys. He's chopping the trees to build the toys.
Yeah.
Like, this man is doing everything from the dirt up.
Yeah.
Right? He's probably mixing his own paints. Like,
And I don't think he has any elves.
he didn't. And he was he was a widower.
Yeah.
Not to get into too many spoiler
Single.
territory. But but he was a man full of passion.
And
Okay.
yeah.
And the passion turned sour when he lost his beloved. Okay. So
He's single.
listen, he's he's got a sensitive side
Yeah.
to this mountain of a man we have here.
And again, something that we probably should have mentioned earlier, but like all these Santas love kids,
Yeah.
which is a
bonus.
a green flag
Yeah.
for sure. But I mean, look at him. There's something, again, long white hair, long white beard. It's when we get to the eyebrows, the white eyebrows, where I'm like, let's take a step back.
But this guy.
But he has dark eyebrows, dark, thick eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's working. I already know. And again, but he's animated. Shut up. What did you think this was? We are ranking sexy Santas. You think I'm going to stop at animated? No, I'm stopping at claymation. That is my line. I would like to rank this Santa an A.
I was also thinking A. I was like, I don't know if we're quite at S tier. But I can see an A. Yeah.
His little feet are throwing me off.
Yeah.
I think that's he's not an S tier because he has tiny little feet.
Yeah.
But like, and also like the gloved hand. Come on.
Yeah. This is like a man Santa Claus.
That's a Santa man.
This is your granddaddy Santa Claus. No, he shows far too much emotion for your granddaddy to appreciate him.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing, obviously. I'm saying, but
just that generation had.
Oh man, I love that movie though.
Yeah, it's a good one. Next, we have kind of an interesting. Okay,
I've been looking at this one the entire time.
We have kind of an interesting entrant that, again, this is the cut that suggested this, and I was like, well, okay, we can talk about it. This is what they write as the animated Santa Claus from the decades of Coca-Cola ads. And I do think that this man has changed his appearance a lot, but this is like a very classic Santa. The no hat and the hair.
Listen, it's not a bad look.
It's not a bad look.
This is a great picture of
Loves
him.
Coca-Cola in a way that I connect with. I love Coca-Cola.
From a glass bottle?
Forget about it. A Mexican Coke.
Forget about it. Those are the best Cokes.
And he knows that, and I know that, and we connect on that. But he is indeed an old man.
He is an old man. This is like old white guy.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of them are old white guys, but this is like.
But so is Santa, you know?
Right. But someone who is going to stop for a Coke in the middle of his charitable ways of giving back to kids. I don't feel like this is a conservative Santa Claus.
Well,
he's just old and white. I
mean, we can get into this never again. But the idea of Santa giving children toys for free around the world, every good child from every culture, that's socialism, first of all. The conservatives would not.
Socialist clause.
So we can't even factor that in. We can't even factor that into this because that kind of defies that logic.
Sure. But see,
I will just say,
God,
this should have been an immediate F tier, but it's not. And I think that's something that we need to recognize.
Yeah.
And again, I think if he had a hat, I think that would have made a difference negatively. But the fact that I can see that he's an old man with a full head of hair, rare.
Yeah, I'm thinking C or D.
I'm thinking C or D. I would feel bad to Danny Glover if I did put this on the same tier as him, as this is a drawn old white man.
I think D is a good place for him.
Let's put him in D. No one else has been in D.
Not a bad looking Santa Claus. He's just this guy's giving me like uncle vibes. Like this could be someone's uncle.
But he looks so happy to see us.
He's happy to see. He's the type of uncle that's happy to see the nieces, the nephews, and all their friends.
Yeah.
Because he likes to see that they're having a good time.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you grew up all right.
Yeah.
You
And he's like, he's going to give you $20 every time he sees you.
Yeah.
Like every time he sees you.
I did not have.
He'll give you $20 and then, or he'll give your sibling $20. He's going to slip you a 50 and be like, no, don't tell anybody.
Did you have this uncle growing up?
No.
No, me neither.
Although I did have, not that I didn't, they just came in various forms. So like sometimes it was an aunt who like, if we went and visited them, they, you know, all of a sudden I'm waking up one morning and there's $20 in my wallet.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. So
I get those vibes. Okay. So now we have what's honestly maybe like the final four. Like I didn't plan it out this way, but here we are. Let's talk about.
I'd say let's go for the newcomer, the new guy this year.
Okay. And
taking 2024 by storm.
And this is like, we have gotten some, first of all, his name's Chris K, which is so funny, but we've gotten some over the years, sexy Santas in ads. This is the only one that made the cut this year, except for the Coca-Cola Santa. But
I wanted to get John Travolta on this list, but I was shot down.
Well, we can talk about it right now. John Travolta's Santa Claus F tier. Are we done? Okay. Here's the thing with this Santa. Now, this man, conventionally attractive, but there's something about his vibe. There's something about his quarter zip sweater that I don't appreciate.
Yeah.
He looks like the kind of person who would like buy like a cyber truck and then quadruple park it in the parking lot. He's like, I don't want anyone to park near me. I just got this.
It's like, I feel like we're that the beard is giving me like, oh, I drive a pickup truck. The hair and the sweater are giving me, I drive a cyber truck.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't think, I love that his name is Chris. We got a lot of Nicks on the list.
We do have a lot of Nicks.
So I like that we're switching it up, and we've got Chris there.
Yeah. Chris with a K.
Chris with a K.
Which is
accurate. It's German.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like all that. Mm-hmm. Yes, he is a conventionally attractive Santa. Now, here's the thing. When I think Santa, and listen, I'm a big boy myself, I like to look out for my thick dudes, my thick boys.
Again, there was some Santa last year in like a car commercial or something, and he was like, maybe that was just like an old man who just happened to be hot. I don't know. I feel like it was Santa, but like thin, conventionally attractive, like model Santa.
Yeah.
That's not where my heart lies.
Right. And I think what saves J.K. Simmons Santa is that, sure, he's not like a big dude, but he's got so much of the other Santa qualities that are like keeping him in the higher echelons of this list.
And
this
he
guy
didn't even rank that high, to be honest.
He ranked a B. This is in the top three tiers.
Cats. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, there's like the Santa look and the Santa vibe, and some people have both, and some people have one, and this man has neither.
Yeah, and he's a good looking guy. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? I don't think he's quite an E or an F.
No.
I don't even think.
I would say maybe B or C.
Yeah.
Vibes alone again. And I will say, him working at Target, getting that retail experience that everyone should have in their life.
Absolutely.
It does bump him up. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to be doing that. Look at his quarter zip. Look at his manicured hair. Look at his cyber truck. He's not hurting for money.
No.
He's doing it because he wants
for the love of the game.
Yeah.
He does look like the Santa Claus who would maybe try and enlist some drones to help him deliver,
Yeah, he would like think like, oh, this is going to be helpful for, my elves if I put in Elon Musk's robots on the production line.
I think C is appropriate for him.
C? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
C for Chris Kringle. But again, and he doesn't have the Santa vibe. And I feel like a lot of people agree with us. I feel like him being so hot isn't what people are talking about.
Right.
They're like, that's not Santa.
You know who I think should be a Santa next year?
Santa's son. Hang on.
You know who he's a little young, but you know who I think could be a really good Santa?
Neil. from Star Wars?
No. I mean, maybe. No. Fucking Guillermo from What We Do in the Shadows. What's his name?
Harvey Guillen.
Yes, Harvey Guillen. He's a little young.
He's a little young, but me and him. Again, there's guys.
Think you and him. He thinks him and me.
Truly.
Well, no, we're like the same person. He would not think that.
I know. I have a type: curly hair, jolly belly, talent. Yeah.
Hispanic.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say it. But that is theirs.
Hey, it doesn't hurt.
Or I guess Jewish.
Some are both.
Volcano no
All right,
dos.
we got 3.
Okay, the final 3, the top 3. Now, this one's gonna be hard, and they might all end up in the same tier.
They might all end up being in the same tier.
Let's talk about the first Santa who did fuck.
I truly think this is what kickstarted the hot Santa movement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with the ranking for me, and I think we could talk about our reasoning after.
Yeah.
This is S tier.
Yeah.
This is S for Santa tier.
S tier. And again,
S for all the sex he has.
We have so many things factoring into it, and I can't stress this enough. Number 1, the hair. Look at this man's head of hair. Look
the
at
hair and the beard. This is the perfect head and beard combo. Like, this is such a great look for Santa.
And that's just, again, oh, sorry. I don't think this is Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell from the Christmas Chronicles.
2019. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
There's 2 of them. I personally, the second one's fine.
The first one's great.
The first one is really great.
Yeah. This is just, I think, Kurt Russell's hair.
I think so too.
Which is crazy.
It might also be his beard.
That'd be fucking crazy. Anyway, so like, but and also this Santa, I mean, it's Kurt Russell, but he's not thin.
No.
You know, he's got like some stock to him. Stocky. Yeah. We can have stocky Santas.
I'm okay with a stocky Santa.
I'm okay with a stocky Santa. Stocking Santa. No. S-T-O-C-K. Stock?
Yeah.
Stocking.
Yeah.
Not S-T-A.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But if this Santa was stalking me, S-T-A-L-K. Why don't you come inside for a spell?
Anyway,
he's got the gloves. My Amazon package is here.
Yeah, he's got the gloves. This is a great, and it's like, it's not your traditional Santa. It's like it almost looks like a leather
That is
coat.
a leather jacket with leather gloves. What the fuck?
This rock and roll ass Santa with his fucking gloves and his leather coat is fucking awesome. He sings the blues in prison.
This Santa went to jail.
This Santa's he's done a bid.
He's incarcerated.
He's been in the fucking pen.
That's so sexy. He's like, I mean, I don't even know what more you want me to say. He's got a great head of hair. He's got the fit. He's funny.
And Kurt Russell's a handsome guy. He's a handsome guy.
And he do sing song.
And
in prison.
And I have to stress, this movie it's not a musical.
No, it was just
he just fucking did that.
Yeah.
Because he could.
And I will give it extra points because Christmas Chronicle was a lot better than I thought it was.
That was another one that was like, you watch it
surprise one.
And you're like,
this was a Netflix movie, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. And we were like, the allure was just Kurt Russell as Santa, because again, you think of Santa, you have a very particular image in your mind, right? Yeah. You see the Santa and you're like, oh no, he's hot, right? No, but you're like, what the fuck? Why is Kurt Russell? I don't hate that. Let's find out what this is about.
And then it was a good movie. So we already said our ranking. We are in total agreement on this one. That is the original S tier sexy Santa. Yeah. All right. Now we have one that I've never seen, but a lot of people commented.
Some folks. Yeah.
This is. Let me look through this list here.
This is Santa from
This is Alec Baldwin as Nicholas St. North from Rise of the Guardians, 2012. Was this the movie about like owls?
I think so. I've never seen it. Never seen it.
No clue what the hell that is. But you posted on TikTok like, hey guys, what Santas do you find sexy?
And we got multiple people talking about this.
And I didn't get it. And now I'm looking at this picture. And you can, from everything that I've said, John, what do you think about this particular Santa's appearance? Do I
Okay.
like.
First off, this is a boxy boy. This is a big dude. And he's not big like if we go back to Coca-Cola Santa, that's just like, hey, that's a fun fat guy, right? And I'm not saying that as a diss. I'm just saying like that's a fun fat guy, right? This guy, again, he's a big dude, but he's like,
it's like Maui.
Yeah.
Like built.
He's doing work. He's a
Yeah.
boxy son of a bitch, right? So he's got that going for him. He's looking pretty high up there. He's looking pretty tall.
Mm-hmm.
Broad shoulders. Again, just I can't stress this enough. A broad son of a bitch. He's got a great beard. He's got the dark eyebrows.
The dark eyebrows help him a lot.
And here's what I think is setting him apart from a lot of other Santas, animated or not. Take a look at this son of a bitch's arms.
He's got full sleeves of tattoos.
And he's got thick ass forearms. This is a guy who lifts heavy shit. Like, so I've never seen this film.
I've never seen this
It looks like
film.
he's standing next to a Yeti and he's towering over them.
Towering over the Yeti. He'll make you feel small and petite.
And he's got, like, why does he have those tattoos? Did he do a fucking bid in the pen?
I don't think those don't look like person tattoos. They look actually
Like
tribal.
cultural. Yeah.
Cultural. He's cultured.
But here's the thing. After all that, look how friendly and warm this guy looks.
He's so again. He's happy to see us. Hold on. I need to see some pictures of his hair in the back. Is it if he has some sort of man bun? I'm gonna lose my mind.
So all that to say, though, I can definitely see why this is Kendra's cup of tea right here.
Yeah.
And why, honestly, listen, hearing that and seeing how people were reacting online to the Santa, it's very encouraging and uplifting for my thick boys out there.
Yeah, truly.
Because as someone who grew up very self-conscious about his appearance due to being a big boy, this should make you feel better.
I'm not seeing a lot of the back of his. He has long hair.
He's got long hair.
You know who else has long hair? Geralt. Look at this fan art someone made of him. The girlies love him. Yeah.
So where are we ranking him, Kendra?
I fear he might also be S tier.
Okay. I'm not going to argue it.
Tattoos.
The tattoos. I think no, he's not. I don't think he's the only tatted Santa we have on this.
No, I think the next one might also have some tattoos.
But I listen. I can't argue. I had no idea he existed.
Yeah, guys, I might have to see this.
Yeah.
Might have to watch this movie.
Do some market research.
And finally, we have David Harbour as Santa Claus from Violent Night, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it.
Honestly, might watch that later today.
Very fun, very Christmas. And here's the situation. Okay. There are people like, I'm trying to think of how I want to word this. There are some people who step into a character and being that character makes them sexier.
Right.
But there are some people who are sexy and then do a character. And it's like, David Harbour is sexy. So him as Santa is sexy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now this guy.
This Santa? He doesn't fuck, he fights.
Both.
Both.
Listen, this Santa, just on this, if you haven't seen the movie, but you see this picture, he's like fucking Triple H holding the sledgehammer. Like, that's fucking cool.
The fucking man spread with his arm on his leg, just casually.
I like I like the Santa suit here because he's got the fucking Ebenezer Scrooge like hat. That's pretty cool. He's got like it's the brown leather vest. Yeah. That's like, oh, this Santa's different. He's a little grizzled.
Yeah.
Because why is he rocking a brown leather vest? Like, that's a worker's, like, trained in the old ways, right? In, like, a cool way. Not, like, in, like, a weird way. But, like, in a cool way, right?
Yeah. I think his jacket might also be leather. It's looking a bit shiny.
Yeah. Oh, you might be right. Keep him warm when he's flying through the air.
Flying through the air.
So, yeah. I mean, the Santa's also going through some shit, right? From what I remember of the movie. But if you let's look at the beard. Beard's
Excellent.
Great.
And he has long hair.
And he's got long hair. He's fucking yadded up. He's a former warrior.
Yeah.
So, like, I get it.
Yeah. And again, it's David Harbour.
It's David Harbour. He's a tall lumbering son of a bitch.
Again, stocky.
Right.
Not just tall. stocky.
Did you like Hopper?
Yeah.
Is it Hopper or Hooper? It's Hopper.
Hopper.
Pre-Russia or post-Russia?
All iterations.
I just remember pre-Russia, before they fucking starved him out, is when he was like...
He was the best he's ever been. But even like Red Guardian, David Harbour?
Yeah.
Yeah. With an accent and funny? Yeah, obviously. David Harbour, it's just because it's David Harbour.
This is David Harbour.
Again, there are some people. Like, I mentioned this earlier. Geralt of Rivier. The Witcher.
Yeah.
Sure, the guy, what's his name?
Henry Cavill. Back to Henry Cavill.
Him. He's, again, conventionally attractive. He's never once been so attractive as he is in The Witcher.
Yeah.
Like, that role made him hotter to me.
Sure.
David Harbour's hot all the time, always. So,
Yeah.
like, he can be whoever, and it's going to be hot.
So where are we putting him?
S.
S for shit. He's hot too.
For holy shit, is that a sledgehammer? S for sledgehammer.
S for sledgehammer.
Yeah, and he could do like a big protect, and
And he's a family guy, not like Peter Griffin. He's a family guy. Loves his job.
Yeah.
Does a big protect on a family.
Yeah. S tier. We saved our best 3 for last. And that's how the cookie crumbles, guys. We are missing some Santas. Maybe if we didn't mention your favorite Santa, please let us know in the comments.
And let us know where you'd rank them.
Yeah. And do you disagree with any of our rankings? Yeah. I'm interested to hear your opinions on it. If you mention any of the S tiers needing to be lower, you're wrong. Sorry. Like,
I don't make the rules. I came up with this game, but I don't make the rules.
No. Because they're like bona fide. Like, that's untouchable. The rest of them, move them around however you please. If any of you bitches...
within reason. If you're putting Scott Calvin any higher than where he's at,
then E, like,
then you might have to give us an explanation. E for explanation.
Yeah, you know how sometimes you have like multiple choice questions on a test, but it's like if you choose yes, you have to explain it in the next one. That's what we'll need from you for that.
Yeah.
One. But this was a very fun exercise. It did get me in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Today's December 21st, so we have 4 days till Christmas. Very exciting. And yeah.
The time of this recording. So let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're doing for Christmas.
Sure.
Or the holidays, if you want.
This was a very Christmas focused episode.
I feel like we haven't done one of those though, so I'm happy we did this.
Yeah. And also this year, speaking of Jewish elves, the first day of Hanukkah is also the 25th.
Mazel tov.
Mazel, very cool, very fun.
L'chaim. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We tried to get a black and white cookie this year from Disney, and we didn't.
We couldn't.
We didn't make it there.
We'll have to find some.
The line was
Jewish
crazy.
Bakery.
If it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Like, it was for a good reason we couldn't get in there, but
yeah. Anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this very special edition of Ringside. If you're not already, please follow us on all the social medias. Follow us on TikTok, but also follow us everywhere that's not TikTok. That way you can keep up to date with what we're doing. I don't know. It's not looking good for TikTok. So go ahead and make sure you're following us on Instagram. I have to update our little listing, but we're on Blue Sky now. We're on Threads. We're on YouTube. Good. You can check out this podcast anywhere you stream, any of the major streamers, including YouTube, where you can watch every single episode that we ever do, as well as all of our other stuff we have. Be sure to follow us on Twitch so you can follow us so you can keep up with all of our live streams. We usually do one once a month to coincide with whatever WWE premium live event is happening. It's called pre-per-view, excuse me. So yeah, lots that we're always doing. We're hoping to do continue doing that and more in 2025. This will probably be the last episode of the year.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool. We've had a lot of growth just in terms of what we do, kind of finding this newfound rhythm of how we approach the podcast. I think it's been a lot more fun to do, but also to listen to. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what 2025 brings. Hopefully, even though most of our social media growth did happen on TikTok, I'm hoping that in 2025 we can continue that momentum on our other platforms. That way we still have a way to do the things we all enjoy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Thank you for a good 2024.
Absolutely. And in 2025, will 2020 thrive?
Here's hoping the universe is against us.
Yeah, a little
But
bit.
we'll show them.
Happy holidays. Have a happy new year. And we'll see y'all soon.
Holidays.
Happy holidays.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Peace.